Go. Happy Winter Circle Wednesday, everyone. Today is September 25th. I'm excited to be with you guys. Make sure that you guys are inviting your team members, your agents. This is the part of the value that we have at Realty of America. We promised that we told all the agents that we're going to bring the best of the best out and making sure that we're adding value to your business. And that's exactly what we're doing. So, in order for your agents, your team members, your team leaders, your group to get the maximum amount of value out of Realty of America, it's important that they jump on these calls and learn live on the moment. So before we get started, you guys, we have a very special guest today. His name is Reyes. He's out of the Chino area. They dominate this Riverside market at a very high level. And when I mean high level, I'm talking very high level. They're very militant about how they run their business within the team. Individually, they run independently, but they run alongside one another. And that's called synergy. So just for that sheer, and the cool thing is no one's paying him. This guy's coming out here. He wants to give knowledge to the marketplace from his heart. And the cool thing is I asked him yesterday because we had another speaker lined up and they canceled last minute. And so I sent him a text message and the first thing was yes. He was like, bro, I'm in, count me in. And that just shows you what kind of person that Reyes is. He's the type of guy that wants to go out and give the marketplace. So just out of respect for him, if we can all do him a huge favor, I think at the very least, let's get some of these cameras on, cameras on, cameras on. I want to make sure that he gets an opportunity to see your faces, see you engaged. So it doesn't matter if you're ladies, it doesn't matter if you're getting your nails done, your lashes put in, or your extensions pulled up. Put those cameras on. It's okay. We're part of the same team. It's okay. And fellas, if you're at the gym or getting a haircut, whatever it is that you might be doing, turn your camera on. And if you're driving, don't do it. Stay safe. Be driving. Or you can turn it on and just leave the phone up, but don't touch it at all. But thank you guys, man. Marco, appreciate you. Des, thank you. Abraham, thank you. Araceli. Let's get some cameras on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show our speaker just a little love. So, I don't know about you, Reyes, but I feed off the crowd's energy. So I can see their faces and I can see the responses, man. I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel you on that, man. And I'm super grateful for you giving me the opportunity to share this platform with you, bro. I'm a big believer in that what you put out into the world comes back to you. And I've had so many people, bro, when I, was just getting started or when I was struggling, pour into me, bro. They really invested into me and help create the character that I have today and build the business that I have. So I'm all about giving back. I'm an open book. Even after this Zoom call, if any of you guys want to hit me up, it's me in the DMs, shoot me a message, and anything that I can do to help you out in your business, I'm all for it.
Man, bro, Reyes, can I touch on that for a quick second, brother? You just pulled the heartstring of mine.
Yep.
In 2013, when I first got my license, there were three people specifically that poured into me that changed the trajectory of my business forever. And I had nothing to offer them. I didn't have a lead. I didn't have a seller. I didn't have a buyer. But every time I went to the door and asked for help, they were there. They pulled me up. They taught me how to script practice and close. And because of Jerry Soto, a guy in my marketplace, they call him the king of door knocking in South San Diego. Fabi Gonzalez, who gave me the opportunity to be her TC for 12 months, 3-4 files a month to learn the contracts. And then Alfonso Delgadillo, who taught me how to structure my business and go out, gave me the fire. Because of those three key players, man, my business took off and I'm forever grateful for them. And one promise that I made was that when they pulled me up and they turned me into success, I would always return the favor to the marketplace. And bro, who were those people for you? Like how did that impact happen?
Man, there's so many people, bro. When I first started my career off in San Francisco, there was a guy named Romeo Aurelio, and he was like the managing broker at a Century 21 over there in San Francisco. And I remember going into his office, and this guy was so busy, but whenever I came in, I was like 18 years old. He would take the time to just drop game on me, really get me in the right mindset and attitude. And then there was another guy. He ended up being one of my team leads at one point. His name was Daniel Chang. And I remember I pulled up in a hoopty of a car. I had like a oversized suit, maybe had like 15 bucks in my bank account. And he looked past all of that and he just said, like, man, if you're hungry to win, like, I'm gonna show you what it takes. And then the last person, man, was probably the actual broker over there. Or his name was Orhan Tolu, and he was the broker of Century 21. And I remember he would just look at me every day and he would help me go over my scripts. He would help me figure out a game plan. And like you said, I had nothing to offer them. I was an 18-year-old kid. I probably took way more from them than what I could give to them. But they just poured into me, man, and I didn't take that for granted. They saw my work ethic. They saw that I was hungry to win. And yeah, man, they just, they gave me the time of day and I'm forever grateful for it.
Reyes, the more we're talking, brother, the more I'm learning that we have more in common. So I just want to, I know we're going to talk about social media in a couple of minutes, but I'm feeling called to ask this next question. You just said something a moment ago. I took more from them than I probably could ever give back because they changed your trajectory of your life forever with what they taught you.
Mhm.
So what I'm hearing you say from a Century 21 system, from a team lead system, you believe in the power of coaching and leadership. It sounds like you believe in that concept of like, bro, like you teach me what to do, take your split, but teach me everything, and it should be a win-win. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Absolutely, man. I mean, from early on in my career, I was never focused on the splits. I was never focused on the dollar amount. I remember when I was 18 years old, I took out a $1,500 credit card. I paid for Tom Ferry coaching. It only lasted 3 months. I didn't close anything, and I just really believe that, hey, man, like you have to invest into yourself, you know. And so when it comes to, you know, really looking at the value that you can get from somebody, even joining Robert's team, I left my dad's brokerage of a 90% commission. I came over here, gave up a ton in what most people have probably been like, I would never do that split, but I saw the opportunity for growth. I saw the opportunity to be in proximity with people who were winning, people who had the right attitude and mentality, and it totally skyrocketed my business, bro. So I'm a big believer in that.
Dude, look at man, for all of you guys on the call out there, I want you guys to understand how important it is that there's an expression that says if you want to go fast, go low, but if you want to go far, go together. And it's so important to latch yourself on to people that have tested and tried leadership. I would rather have 20% of 100 units than have 10% of 10 units or 50 units, have that smaller amount and keep more commission. It I never ever looked at the split. I never looked at my fees. It was never a factor in my decision making when I went from Coldwell Banker to Century 21 to EXP and then now to Realty of America. It was never a decision. It was always who was the leader, what can I learn, and how can I get better. And I would pay whatever I needed to pay. And at Century 21 in 2021, I paid almost 200,000 in splits because my GCI was 1.3. 200,000 to my broker, and people made fun of me. Like, dude, you paid him you could have been a big block, 100% brokerage. But in my mind, I thought to myself, I'm talking to the CEO of the company who built 16 offices, withstood 3 market crashes, and has over 1,000 agents. Like, I'm going to learn how to build a team. I'm going to learn how to build a business here, and I will pay that man $200,000 a year for the crash course. Most people spend 8 years in college getting themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to become a surgeon or attorney. And that's amazing because look at the return on the investment afterwards. But in real estate, we pay a couple of $100, $1,000 to get a license, to get certified. And then we stop our continuing education. We don't learn how to close. We don't learn how to sell. We don't learn how to market. And then we complain on top of it about the splits are too much. Like, look, these coaches and these mentors, they're going to be pouring into you effortlessly so much. Give them what they're worth because it took them 10, 15, 30 years to get to where they're at. And they're cutting that learning curve for you, bro. So, man, bro, we're gonna have a fire talk today about social media. So let's transition right into that, brother. Can you tell everyone on the call today who are you, man? Tell us about your background, and then let's talk about the social media aspects so we're all better acquainted.
Yeah, so I'll make it pretty quick. My name is Reyes Abalos. I grew up in South El Monte, California. Got my license when I was 19 years old. Moved out to San Francisco. That's where I really learned like all my skills and got like really it was like character development because I wasn't successful until maybe about 2 years ago. So I really believe in like pouring into others because I was broke for a very long time, guys. Real estate is not easy. And, most people, they come in, they want to make money right away and it just doesn't work out for them. And, I just thank God every day that I stuck through with it. And now that I am on the other side and I am closing deals, I just want to help as many people as possible, man. So I have the social media, I have the followers, but I'm a regular dude like everybody else. I just want to take care of my family. I want to live a better life. And I just want to help other people do the same.
So let's get started right there, brother. So thanks for being on today. Let's talk about that social media page. And for all of those who are get an opportunity, let's go check out his page together. What's your Instagram handle?
It's a Mr_real.estate.
All right. And if our moderator can drop that in the chat for everybody, Mr_real.estate. Everyone go to his page, 78,000 followers. Go look at his page right now. Look at his bio. Look at his stories. 13,000, 17,000, 25,000, 28,000, 80,000 views on these home tours and video tours.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Someone was really surprised by that right now. Bro, you're crushing it on here. So let's just jump right into it. If someone's out there, what's working for you? Talk about what's working for you first.
So, on this call, I definitely want to share with you guys exactly what I'm doing, like how to make the videos, the timing of it, the format of all that stuff. But before I dive into that, I think one of the main parts that most people overlook is like the inner game, right? So I could teach you guys the outer game of, hey, do this, make the video this long, put this type of hook. But really what matters more than anything else is the inner game. And what I mean by that is the criticism that you're going to be facing when you do start to post. I think that's what limits most people, is that they're afraid of the criticism and feedback that they're going to get when they do put content out there, or they're comparing it to other people who are already blowing up, right? So I think before you start creating content, one, you need to make the decision that I'm going to commit to this. It may take 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, but it takes a true commitment. And then two, you have to be okay with people not liking you, right? I think at the same time, we want to make content that everybody likes, and we're afraid of posting out there and getting 3 likes, 2 likes, whatever. That doesn't matter. I know people that have hundreds of thousands of views that close 0 deals, right? At the end of the day, we're here to make money. So as long as you focus on providing value, you make the decision that this is a true commitment, that you're not going to quit, and that you're okay with being authentic and being raw, because that's what people really like. That's what attracts people, is that rawness, right? Is that you're a genuine person. You're not this cookie cutter realtor who's just throwing up the same post that everybody else is. So that's just like a little side note. I think as long as you have the right attitude and mindset, then you're going to go far in social media. Now, as far as what's working for me, the home tours are going to be the eye candy, right? So I learned this from one of my mentors named Brian Casella. And basically you sell people what they want, and then you give them what they need. So what do I mean by that? My page really started to blow up because I was posting these 1 million, 2 million, $3 million homes that nobody else was doing. And so it's eye candy for people. It draws them in. And then when it draws them in, most people can't afford that 2 million, $3 million house. But guess what? That's when I'm gonna give them the info on the 600, the 700, the $500,000 house. So find something that's going to be eye-catching for people, whether it's a house, whether it's a nice background, that's going to sell them what they want. And then you give them what they need. And that's going to be all through the DMs.
How does that transition happen? So you're putting the eye candy out there. Let's just say, I want to break it down in a systematic format. So I go out there, I start looking at these luxury properties, these 1, 2, 3, $5 million houses that we have. I go out there, I start filming them, and in a moment we're going to talk about the format. I start bringing these leads in because people are following me and saying, "Man, this guy has some amazing properties that he's selling," and who doesn't want to window shop? So they're window shopping on your Instagram page. How do you get them from that point to now we're having a conversation in the DM?
Nice. So I'll fast forward you to where we're at now. It was definitely a learning curve between. What most of you are going to experience as you start to grow is you're going to get a flood of DMs, people that are just messaging you, and it's going to be a little bit overwhelming. Now we have VAs in place to help us out. I have many chats to make sure that these people get a response right away. But essentially, it's going to start with a call to action. You could do 2 things. You could put a text code, and that's basically saying, hey, text, these 1 or 2 letters to my phone number, and then I'm going to give you more info. And then it's up to you to do, your job as a salesperson and follow up with them. Or 2, you can tell them to comment down below on your video. And then once they comment down below on your video, that's when you're either going to have something like ManyChat reach out to them, or you're going to respond to their comment, and you're going to basically start that conversation. So a call to action. And just so you guys know, text codes work great. Call to actions on like a comment on your post work great. That's what's going to get people to reach out to you, so you can start that conversation with them.
So let's break that down for everybody systematically. So the video tour, everything's starting right there with that conversation. So let's start with that conversation first. How are you filming this? Are you hiring a professional photographer, video guy? Are you going out there yourself? Do you have a team now? Like, if someone's going out there like, all right, Reyes, bro, I'm struggling. I want to close some deals. I want to get some leads. What's the first thing I do?
Boom, I got you guys. So first thing you're going to want to do is take a deep breath and realize you don't need all the fancy stuff. If you got an iPhone, you're good to go. Make sure that you film it on 0.5. And if you can put it at 4K 60 FPS, it's going to be great. Instagram's going to default it to 1080p anyways, but just try to film it on the highest quality resolution, and just make sure that you have your iPhone. Secondly, one, I would reach out to other listing agents and ask for permission. Always, always, always get permission, and always give them credit when you do film these listings. But if you want to take the easier route, go to new construction communities. You're going to build a relationship there with them. The model homes are beautiful to shoot, and that's what I would do. I would literally today, I would go check out 1, 2, 3 communities, film these houses. And because these communities are going to continue building 100, 200, 300 homes, you can recycle these videos for the next year or 2 and just get a ton of leads from it.
let me touch on that second point that you brought up, which is talking to these new developments and these agents. What what do you say? What do you say to these guys when you call them? Let's just say you call some of these luxury agents or these higher price point properties. How are you getting them to be okay with you walking into their listing, filming their client's property on your social pages?
That's a great point. So there's a couple of ways to go about it. One, I have a text template that I'd be more than happy to drop here in the chat. You guys can copy and paste it. All you do is change the person's name, the address, and of course, put your information. Now, one of the things that I've really been grateful for is that by reaching out to these people, you are going to get rejected. You are going to have people that are going to tell you no, but you're also going to have people that tell you yes. Now, the agents, in my opinion, that are going to be cool with it are going to realize that the more exposure you get, the better your chances are of selling the home for the most money possible. So the listing agents that give me access to it, they're cool with it, right? They're going to be like, yeah, go for it. And I always make sure like, hey, I'm going to give you credit. Sometimes I'll even collab with them, right? And again, you don't have to have a super huge page. I was reaching out to people when I had like 1,000 followers and it was all my friends from high school. So like, don't worry, you don't need a super huge page, but I either send out a text or I'll give them a phone call. But even after that phone call, I'll just say, hey, my name is Reyes. I'm with Real Brokerage. I was calling to see if I could take a quick video of your listing over on 123 Street to post on my social media to try to find you a buyer. Simple as that. They'll say yes, they'll say no, doesn't matter. You just move on. And then the more you film these houses, and then the more that they see that you're filming like $1, $2, $3 million listings, the more they associate you with that. And then now I actually have agents that reach out to me that won't let nobody else film their listings, but they have me go do it because it's marketing for them.
Oh, come on. This is yo, team. Number one, he just gave you guys a strategy, told you how to film it. He also just said the script. He's going to give it to you guys in a second. Are you guys taking anything away from this? Blow up the chat. I want you guys to show him some love because he's dropping some really valid points right now. And I want to make sure that he's seeing the response on that. So, oh yeah, bro, you mean I got some fire emojis. I got some hand clapping emojis up there, some star emojis. What about, look at that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Awesome, brother. You're crushing it right now, man. You're crushing it. So, new construction homes, you got the agents, then we're contacting them, text messaging, and we're just going through them basically one by one. So back on let's talk about the style of filming now. So let's just say you reach out to the agent, they tell you yes, you show up to the house, you got the 4K 60 frames per second on 0.5 on your iPhone. What's the first thing you're doing?
So the first thing that I'm doing is, and this is huge, guys, we're getting a ton of leads through our Instagram stories. So what I would do is, one, take a photo of the house, right? If you guys look at my story right now, there's a perfect example of this where I basically just, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I basically just put the house, I put, the city, I put, something about it, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, keep it short. Just the highlights of the house. Maybe it has a lot of bedrooms. Maybe it has a lot of square footage. People love HOA and they love a lot of bedrooms. That's a little secret for you guys. If you can put no HOA, a lot of bedrooms, it goes crazy. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting a story, right? And that's going to get you a ton of leads already. The next thing that I'm doing is I'm getting the house tour. So what I like to do is I like to break it down to little different sections. I get the front of the house. Then when I go into the house, I'll usually get like the living room, I'll get the kitchen, I'll get the bedrooms, and I'll get the bathrooms. When I first started out, I was basically going through the whole house trying to just get everything in like under a minute. Then Instagram extended it to like 1 minute 30 seconds. Now people's attention spans are so short that you basically just want to have the videos that are hitting are videos that are going to be like 15 to maybe 30 seconds. And all you're doing is hitting the highlights, right? So the highlights is going to be front of the house, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, backyard. And even if there's only like 2 or 3 nice features, then just highlight those features. And then at the end of the video, make sure that you put a call to action. So that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm just getting a bunch of different clips, and then you can use those for different purposes. You can use those in the future for like a text over the video, right? And then you can also do a video of you like talking in the house, right? So I'll do a video of me talking about the house, showing the same features, or I'll do something talking about buyers or sellers or the market, because the thing is, I can make a video delivering some really valuable information right here with this background, and not too many people are going to watch it. But if I have a dope kitchen behind me, if I have a fire swimming pool behind me, if I have this huge 2-story house behind me, it's going to keep people's attention longer. So that's what I do. I get the house tour first. I put them in a bunch of different clips. I get videos of me talking about the house. And then while I'm in there, I find out what backgrounds look really nice. And then I just try to deliver valuable information in a video with that type of background. So easily you can get, I mean, like 10 to 15 pieces of content from just one house.
Wow. And are you filming yourself this entire time? Do you have someone that's helping you? Do you have a tripod? How are you doing it?
Yeah, so for the longest time, I was just doing it by myself. Thankfully I do have my cousin. He's my road dog. So he would come with me and he would kind of help me film myself. But honestly, you don't even need that. Grab a tripod, put your iPhone up and just start recording and you're going to be good to go.
Got it. So just to kind of recap on the filming part, some of the key rooms you want to get the highlights. We're talking the front of the house, the living room, the kitchen. Are you getting every single bedroom and bath, or is it just the master?
Great question. So before, yes. Now you go into a 4-bedroom house. Really, the master bedroom is probably the only nice one, right? So I'm not gonna take the time to go ahead and record all those other bedrooms. You could, right? But for the purpose of like a highlight video, which is just gonna be like 15 to 25 seconds, I'm just gonna get like the main bedrooms. But you could still do a full house tour because then it does two things for you. When the person reaches out to you, now you can send them that video and they're like, oh, damn, like no one else has delivered that to me, right? Or two, if you did want to have like a longer video, now you have something for your YouTube, or now you have something that you can maybe post on TikTok, because on TikTok, the longer videos tend to do a little bit better. So I would say when you go to a house, get as much content as possible. And then when you go back to your office or your house, whatever it is, and you're starting to make it, now you have more to choose from instead of being like, oh man, I wish I would have got that bedroom or that bathroom.
Brother, I'm looking at your page right now, and it looks like most of the filming that you're doing is like early morning or afternoon when the sun's out. I don't really see anything gloomy or nighttime. That's accurate, right?
Yeah, so for the most part, I try to get there, early in the morning. I would say from like 10 to 2 p.m. Sometimes depending on the sun, the house can have like a hard shadow on it. But also with these new construction communities, I like to go early because you beat the crowd. Sometimes you want to film the house, but there's people walking in and out and it just makes it kind of tough. So yeah, if you can go out there in the morning, and just knock it out, you're gonna be solid.
Now you've upgraded. Now I see drone shots inside of this.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
talk to us about that.
So I do have the drone. The cool thing is being a part of our team is that sometimes we'll go out and have content days, right? So sometimes while I'm in there filming the houses, Robert or Jeff or Kevin, somebody from our team, they're getting the drone shots, and then we all just kind of share it together because we all want each other to win. So I do have a drone. I'm still learning how to use it, but most of those drone shots are people from my team who done it for me.
That's awesome, bro. So you guys are actually going out there as a squad with a team, and you guys are having content days and helping each other out, and you guys are distributing the same content in your own way to your own audience.
Oh yeah, we're rolling deep, bro, because one of the things about filming content, it goes back to that fear of criticism, right? I remember when I first went out and started filming, I would be in a backyard and I would see the neighbors looking through their window and I'll be like, man, I look so dumb, like trying to say the same video over and over again. Or I'm at a new construction community and I'm making a fool out of myself. But when you roll deep with everybody and you have that camaraderie and I'm feeling dumb about talking, but I see Robert doing a video, I see Jeff doing a video, I see Justin doing a video, or maybe they're giving me some feedback or I'm giving them some feedback. It just makes the experience so much more better when you have that support group with you.
So the on the drone shots here, what's important to capture on that for people who might have a drone and want to play around with it? What kind of shots should they get?
Yeah, so when you do the drone shot, I think it's super important to make sure that you get a good center video of like the house, right? You don't want to get too much of like the house next to it or like the background. Sometimes you may want to, right? Like let's say maybe it's a new construction community and you want to get like all the model homes, then that's cool. But I think for the most part, just getting clear images of it or clear videos of it, and then also not going too fast, whether it's the drone shot or whether it's a house video tour, you don't want to go too fast. I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is they're going way too quick when it's a lot better to just go slower, show less, keep people's attention a little bit longer, and then just transition to the next shot.
Now, what about editing, bro? How are you doing this? Because so far, as a real estate agent, if I'm looking at everything, like, okay, I can go to a house at 9 a.m. I can film the rep bedrooms, no problem. I can even pull out a drone, take a couple of shots, no issues. But now my mind starts to malfunction because on the California real estate exam, they didn't talk about editing. So how are you doing this, brother?
Cool. So I'm gonna make it even easier for you guys. I do everything through Instagram. I do about 90% of my editing through Instagram and maybe 10% through CapCut. And the only reason why I do it through CapCut is sometimes on my talking video, it's a little bit easier to add the text over what I'm saying. And even that, you just tap a button that says like auto generate like captions or whatever. But everything through Instagram. So, and it's really simple too. It's basically just put up the city, put up one or two key like features about the home. That's going to be your hook. So when you're creating a video, the first 3 seconds are going to be the most important. And then every 2 or 3 seconds after that is what's going to keep the people's attention. And you can look at your video insights to see when people are watching the video, when they're leaving the video, right? And so your hook is going to be the most important part during your editing. You want to make sure that it's within the little grid. Sometimes when you're making the video, you can see like, oh, if I did the title too long, right? Or if it's uneven. So you want to make sure that it looks uniform. You want it to look clean. I'm very picky about that stuff. But you know, I've seen other people who are a little bit more, you know, not as strict with it, and their videos still do very well. But yeah, you're gonna really want to just do everything through Instagram, put a good on it, and then yeah, just make sure that you keep buying their attention every 2 or 3 seconds.
Dude, I love that. That's, I mean, you know, you guys out there, team, for you guys out there right now, I mean, I'm taking notes so I can recap it. We can send out an email to you afterwards. Team, I want to pause for a quick second just in case you guys have any questions, because, you know, I mean, he's just dropping gems right now. And brother, you're crushing it. So I want to go look at the chat, see if there's any questions out there. So team, if you have any questions, we'll pause for a quick second and answer any of them. If you don't have any questions, just show some love in the chat. But let me go ahead and open this up and see what we got here, brother.
Cool. So I saw so one asked question real quick though. I do want to give a huge shout out to Robert Cedeno. I want to give a shout out to Jeff, Eddie, everybody on my team, because without them, I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now. They really helped me do everything that I can to win at this level. And you know, I love giving credit where it's due, because without them, none of this is possible. So huge shout out to them. Make sure you give them a follow. Somebody asked. Yep. Somebody asked, what's the closing look like in the DM? So when it comes to the DMs, I learned a valuable lesson. People will waste your time in there, but it's part of the game. You're in sales. So what you have to realize is that there's a sweet spot of about 3 to 5 messages. I've had messages with people where I went and I, you know, bent over backwards to try to find them the information, only for them to ghost me afterwards. And then 2 days later, hit me up again on another post, right? So the closing in the DM is very simple. I put out some piece of content, whether it's a story or it's an Instagram reel. When they reach out to me, my questions is basically going to be a couple of things. One, what did you really like about this home? Or what kind of home are you looking for? What price range are you looking in? What areas are you looking in? Right. And then depending on what they're asking me, sometimes I may ask about down payment. Sometimes I may ask about what kind of monthly payment they're looking for. But what I'm really looking for is for them to give me the opportunity to ask that really specific question. The general back and forth stuff is very easy. But once they ask me that specific question of, hey, well, what does my credit need to look like? Or how much of a monthly payment do I need? Or, you know, what communities do you have available? Boom. The closing is very simple. Awesome. Would love to help you put together a game plan and find the right home. What's the best number to reach you at? That's literally what I tell everybody. And, you know, some people will respond, some won't, but it's just a matter of 3 to 5 messages. And then once they open up that opportunity for me to answer like a more specific question, I just ask them for their phone number.
So a couple of sales questions in the DM, no more than 3 to 5 full messages back and forth. You're asking a couple of fact finding, and then once they ask you a question, you have their interest. That's when you go for the close of what's your phone number. You take them off that platform, and now the sales skills come in. Now you got to be a salesman on the phone, build rapport, ask the questions, and then convert them. Right?
Yep, exactly.
Love it. What else we got? Do you recommend AI for auto DM responses? Asks Felipe.
Yes, so I use ManyChat. So for any of you guys who want to make sure that because speed to lead is very important. You want to make sure that you reach out to these people when they want the information. At the same time, you don't want to give them too much information, right? Because then they're just going to go to these communities, or they're going to basically they got what they need and they don't want to talk to you anymore, right? So what I have on my automated ManyChat messages, like if one of you guys were to go comment on one of my videos right now, it's basically just going to say like, hey, thanks for reaching out. Here's more info about the home. And it's pretty much the same info that I'm giving in the description. And then I'll ask them something like, what did you really like about this home? Or what kind of home are you looking for? Always end with an open-ended question, right? And then this way, if they hit me up, if they commented at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 5 p.m., I'm on an appointment, whatever, they at least got that initial response from me. And then later on when I'm free, that's when I go in the DMs and it's me actually talking to them.
So, you know, one of the important things that he's talking about right now on the open-ended questions team, write this one down. Open-ended questions begin with who, what, when, where, and how. The complete opposite of an open-ended question is a closed-ended question, which is a question that ends in a yes or no answer. In sales, he who asks the questions controls the conversations. Ask the who, what, when, where, and how. You get them talking. When they talk, they feel comfortable. People love talking about themselves. They love hearing themselves talk. The guard comes down. They feel like they trust you more because they just spent 5-10 minutes telling you their whole life story. So that's fuego right there. Love it. Anything else? Let's see. Auto AI DM. Okay. So we went through filming settings, days, times, type of property, how to reach out to people once you get there. We talked about the first 3 seconds on the hook. We talked about every 2 to 3 seconds, you have to have something changing on the screen to capture their attention. Then we talked about the closing DM, 3 to 5 conversations back. We're fact finding. The moment they ask you something, you go ahead and ask for the phone number. You get them on the phone. You close them for the appointment right there. What else?
Yeah, so there's another thing going on with Instagram right now. It's becoming more of a search engine optimization. So it's becoming a lot more like Google, right? So as before, what do you recommend for music? So for me, oh, let me see. What do you recommend for music? Audio is also important, right? Audio is very important. So what I would do when it comes to audio is one, pick trending audios. And the way you can tell it's trending audio if it has a little arrow on it, right? So, and you could tell it'll say like it has 126,000 reels. Sometimes it doesn't even need a lot of reels. You just need to see that it's trending. But here's where I see most people mess up with the trending audio. When you click on the trending audio and you post it, that's not going to do it for you. What you have to do is when you click on the trending audio, look at the top videos. There's usually some type of like synchronicity that's going on with the video, right? So like, for example, there's a video that I just posted where like the beat drops, and every time the beat dropped, that's when a new word would pop up, right? So when you watch these videos, you'll usually see that at some point in the audio, there's a transition or there's a switch to a different view or scene, right? And that's what you want to mimic, right? When you're looking at the audio, it's not just picking the trending audio, it's basically duplicating and replicating the top videos that are with that trending audio so that you can stay in sync with the pattern that audio is having with those top trending videos.
Oh my gosh, bro. I hope, I pray that all of you just picked up how meticulous and excellent Reyes is in his observation of what he's doing. This isn't by mistake. This isn't by chance. He is sitting there and being a master of his craft, watching every single detail. I mean, what are the results from the team, brother? What kind of leads are you guys getting from just doing this so meticulously per month?
Oh man. So again, huge shout out to Jeff, huge shout out to Robert because they put me on game with so much of this, man. And lead wise, we're getting hundreds of leads every month, bro. And I think right now we're at like 100 and something closed transactions. We have like another 50 or 60 that are pending right now. And I would say 90% of them are all coming from social media. So everything from creating the video, having a good hook, having a call to action, getting them in the DMs, making sure that they go into our CRM. We call it DM to CRM, and then making sure that we just follow up with them. It's been game changer for us, bro. And we're just very blessed because at the same time, we've also built a brand. So when it comes to listing appointments, when it comes to going out and meeting buyers at these communities or at these houses, man, they're so sold on us because we've just delivered so much value and they feel like they know us already. So there's no like, hey, I've been in the business for 10 years and this is our sales. They're just like, oh my God, like it's Jeff, like it's really you, it's Robert, it's really you. So I think a huge part of this is getting the views, getting the likes, but also building a brand and being relatable to people because, this is a little bit of a side note, but people do business with people that they like. And a lot of these times I got deals from people because they're like, oh, you work out at the same gym as me. Oh, you go to that Target. Oh, you did that at that Mexican food spot like I do. And it's that rawness, it's that authenticity that is really just going to separate you from everybody else and get people to want to do business with you.
So I hope you guys understood what he just said. The team is at 100 plus transactions for the year, 90% of them being from social media. They have hundreds of leads that are coming in through Instagram through this format, and it's not by accident. This is well, on a side note, brother, I hope you trademark that you and the team trademark what you just said, the whole DM to CRM, or yeah, the DM to CRM. That was clever, bro. You better trademark that and start a system and a training program. I think you can take that something national with that idea. I can see you guys doing a DM to CRM training like throughout the whole state of California and eventually taking it across the country. That was masterful. That's beautiful. So start working on it, man. But we can mastermind about that afterwards and create a course around it. But that was huge. Bro, I want to respect your time. We have a couple minutes left. So are there any final thoughts or any final questions from the audience?
Yeah, if they have any questions, let me know. I'm an open book. DM to CRM, shout out to Big Rob. Do we have a business team page? Yeah. So We're like we have a couple of different pages. Robert's done an amazing job of building his personal brand on his page. So follow Robert Cedeno. The New Builds for You page, I think they're the #1 new builds page in the world. I'm not just saying that because we're on the same team as them, but everybody else is basically trying to duplicate what they've been doing. And then of course we have my page and then the Cedeno Realty page. So we all kind of just join our forces together to really just bring in the amount of lead flow so that we can feed our team and ultimately help a lot of people get into some homes.
Wow. Okay, I don't see any questions. Let me just double check the chat. Can't take notes quick enough. Ernest, don't worry, brother. We got this recorded. It'll be posted.
Somebody said initially you spoke about the importance of having those that influence you. How do you go about finding those people? That's a great question. It's going to be different for everybody. I think that a lot of it is just going to be your own personal development as you start to elevate to a different frequency and as your energy starts to change. Some people are going to leave your life and some people are going to enter your life. I've always been a big reader. I've always been huge into self-investment. And as you start to make those personal changes, you just start to find yourself in different rooms, in different environments. And when you're in those environments, you have to be aware enough to know that, hey, this is the right relationship to build. For example, with Gabe, right? I felt like collectively as a team, we just kept elevating. We kept rising. Robert got in touch with Gabe. The minute we met Gabe, we are like, oh, this guy is legit. He's the real deal. We need to be in proximity with him. So when you're first starting off, it is going to be a little bit tough. I would say start out at your office, whatever office you're at. See who the heavy hitters are. Look for people who have the result that you're looking for. I'm a big believer in not taking advice from somebody who doesn't have the result that you're looking for, right? There's a lot of people who read books, a lot of people who have a lot of theory, but they don't have the results to back it up. Find people who have the result that you're looking for, get in proximity with them, and then make sure that there's a value exchange there, right? When I first started off, I didn't have much to offer, but I was open-minded. I was coachable. They saw that I was willing to learn. They saw that I was willing to hustle, and I was willing to do whatever it took to basically elevate myself and take my business to that next level. So you also, when you don't have much to offer in terms of, money or knowledge or resources, you have to see what qualities can you demonstrate to this person for them to feel like that you are worth their time, so they can pour into you as well.
Let's see. We got fire, bro. We got 100% motion. We got some smoke coming out here. How often would you suggest we post each week when we're just starting out?
So when you're just starting off, I would say start one a day. Start once a day. Is that enough? No, it's not. The market is completely saturated. You see home tours all over the place. But start once a day because it's just like going to the gym, right? You're not going to have a six-pack overnight. You're not going to have big biceps overnight, but it takes time to build that muscle. Start once a day. Then start doing twice a day. Then see if you can post 2 to 3 times a day, right? This Daniel Realty page, they post like 1,000 times a day, right? That's why we get so many leads coming in. They're just a monster at it, right? We have a system behind it. But when you're just getting started, I would say start once a day, build that muscle up, build your skills up, know that it's going to take a lot of consistency before one of your videos actually starts to hit. And then at the same time, it's also going to give you the opportunity to get a big enough sample size, because what happens is people only post once or twice and then they don't post again for 2 or 3 weeks. And then they're like, they get motivated and then they post 3 more times. But in a matter of 60 days, they've made 8 posts. That's not a big enough sample size. If you post 14, 20 times in 1 week, you can look at all your videos. And here's a little tip for you. You basically want to look at what video stood out for you. So going viral isn't necessarily 1 million, 2 million views. If your average views is 500 and you have a video that did 2,000, 2,500, make more of the video that did 2,000 or 2,500. If your normal views is 10,000 and you get a video that does 30 or 40,000, look at the video that did 30 or 40,000 and then make more of that. So really just, you have to commit to having a big enough sample size so you can see what's working, what's not, and then just do more of what's working.
Part 2 of that question, post once a day on story or post once a day on the page?
So both. So shout out to Jeff. This was a game changer for me. Instagram Reels grow your audience. Instagram stories convert your audience. So Instagram, shout out to Jeff. That's my boy Jeff right there. So you want to post a reel because that's going to grow your reach. That's going to get new eyeballs on you. That's going to get you new followers. Once they're following you, these people are watching your Instagram stories, and your Instagram story is a modern day reality show, right? People want to see what your life looks like so they can connect to it, so that they can win through it. This is something that I learned early on, and I think it's so true, right? Think about your favorite baseball team or basketball team or your favorite musician, right? All you Kendrick fans out there, when he won the beef with Drake, you guys felt like it was a win for you. when the Los Angeles Dodgers win a championship, you feel like it's a win for you. Well, now it's time for you to be that winner for your city, be that winner for your people, and let them follow you so that your success rubs off on them.
Oh, bro. Okay. I mean, I gotta respect your time right here, brother, because you run a big business. You come from a big team. That last segment right there, I think that's a perfect way to end it right there. And I want to make sure that you guys blow up the chat, show Reyes massive amounts of love, show the Cedeno team, and shout out to Robert for being the leader that can attract these type of agents into your organization. Because in order to attract this level of talent, you have to be a certain level of leader to attract that talent. And so shout out to Robert Cedeno. It's an honor and a pleasure to get to know you. And Reyes, brother, it's a pleasure to get to know you, man. It's very rare in my industry, in this industry, that I look up to somebody, admire, bro. You're crushing it. You're doing phenomenal things. And there's people asking if you offer one-on-one coaching on the thing right now. So maybe that's a product you start thinking about unveiling. But we got to get you on the next, stage, one of these events coming up pretty soon, and doing it. And look at team. I want to before we give Reyes an opportunity to close out with any final thoughts. I think he might have just dropped the mic on that one. But this is the value that we get at Realty of America. This is what it's about. It's community. The reason we all joined the brokerage was because we wanted to focus on one thing, and that was increasing production. How do we all raise the level of professionalism? That's the one thing that all of us saw in mind. I want to raise my level of professionalism. I want to become better, AKA proficient, a level of proficiency in the real estate marketplace. I want to increase my production. Well, then in order to do that, they just talked about it a moment ago, Reyes did, talking about proximity is power. You got to get around that environment. Your environment is everything. Let me ask all of you guys a very important question. Had you grown up in a third world country, are the chances as great or less that you would be in the position that you are today? They are far less. They are far less if you grew up in a third world country with no water, no electricity, no law and order, if you grow up in that. But you grew up in a different environment. You grew up in the best country in the world, the United States of America. You grew up in your city. You have a home. You have food. You have shelter. You're on a Zoom call right now learning how to dominate at a very high level. So proximity is power. Your environment will massively influence how you think, how you dress, how you speak. So I have to ask you a question. What does your environment look like? Who's in proximity to you? This is why the Cedeno team, the Singer Real Estate team, the Gabe Mendez group, all of us decided to partner up together and make a move over to Realty of America. So please reach out if you're not part of the company or the team yet. Reach out to Reyes, reach out to Robert, reach out to Monica, whoever invited you onto the call today. Reach back out to them and be like, if you got that feeling in your gut, like, bro, I want to be part of this every single week. Make that move, make that adjustment, because I'm telling you, we're just getting started. And to show love to Reyes, I want you guys to go follow his Instagram page. And anytime you guys have anyone who wants to sell, buy a home in the Chino Riverside Marketplace, think Cedeno, think Reyes, think Jeff, think about that whole team, but specifically Reyes for taking the time this morning to be out here with us. So, brother, before we head off, man, is there any final thoughts you have?
Just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to share the platform with you, Gabe. You and Monica have been amazing for me. Again, huge shout out to Robert, Jeff, my entire team. They really put me in a position to be where I'm at today. And thank you all for, hopping on this call. I know that, in real estate, we have so much going on. So for you guys to give me an hour of your time, I really am grateful for it. So feel free to hit me up in the DMs if you have any questions. I'm an open book. I love to help people win. And yeah, feel free to hit me up and, let's make today a great day.
Awesome. All right, Winner Circle, we're out of here. Talk to you guys on the next Winner Circle Wednesday call. And Reyes, brother, I'll chat with you soon, man. Thank you again for your time today, bro.
Likewise, brother. Have a good one, guys.
All right, you guys too. Bye.